Yo, what's up guys? It's Noah here, and in today's video, we're going to be talking through a couple player props I like on Prizepicks for tonight's NBA slate on Thursday, February the 29th. We've got 8 games tonight, so a decent sized slate for Thursday night tonight. Got 3 early props, guys, that I do like for this slate. 3 picks we're going to talk about, give some explanation to why I like each one of these plays. Before we do get started though, as always, if you guys do enjoy these Prizepicks videos, if they do help you out, please hit that like button down below. I do appreciate the likes as always. Make sure to hit that subscribe button if you have not yet. And if you guys are new to Prizepicks, go check them out. Sign up, linked down below in the description, or just use that promo code NOAH. When you sign up for Prizepicks, you'll get your first deposit matched up to $100. And I do want to shout out Sleeper as well, because we do have a partnership with Sleeper. You guys can sign up for Sleeper, use promo code NOAH over there, and get your first deposit matched up to $500. If you guys don't have an account on Sleeper, use that code, get that deposit bonus. If you don't know what Sleeper is, they are a DFS pick'em app similar to Prizepicks, similar to a lot of the other DFS pick'em apps you see around the industry. You build out an entry on Sleeper, you take over or under on player projections. You can build up to an 8-pick entry. You can win up to 100x your money. Sleeper does offer a lot of the major sports markets like NBA, NFL, NHL, college football, college basketball, MLB. That's all available over on Sleeper. If you guys do want to try them out, again, use that code NOAH when you sign up, and you'll get your first deposit matched up to $500. But we got 3 picks to talk about for this Thursday slate. Now, before we talk through our 3 picks for Thursday, I do want to recap the 2 picks that we gave out in Wednesday's video. So unfortunately, the 2 picks we gave out Wednesday, we did not hit both of the plays Wednesday. We only hit one of the 2. We did hit on Max Strus over 8.5 points, over 8.5 points. I know Strus's line, it did get bumped up to 9.5, but even if you took the over on his bumped line, he still went over that as well. It took a double overtime for Strus to go over, but he still got there, finished with 11 points. He did not shoot the ball that well Wednesday night. I can't remember exactly what he shot, but it wasn't a great game from Strus. But ultimately, he wound up going over his points prop. Unfortunately, though, Norman Powell did not go over his points prop of 18.5. Norman Powell, he started their previous game against the Kings. He played a ton of minutes that game, and then go figure, Wednesday against the Lakers, doesn't wind up starting, comes off the bench. I was not expecting that. I assumed after Powell started their game before that he would start again on Wednesday night, but they decided to bring Powell off the bench. He still did play like 30 minutes off the bench, but I wouldn't have took that over of 18.5 points had I known he was coming off the bench. I think with him coming off the bench, his line it obviously wasn't going to be that high. I don't know exactly how much his line got bumped down after it was announced he was coming off the bench, but I assume it did go down a little bit. So that was definitely a tough one. Again, probably wouldn't have took that play had I known Powell was not going to start. I was expecting him to start. Played 30 minutes though, scored 14 points. I don't think he shot the ball that well. I want to say he shot I think 6 for 14, and I want to say he was 2 for 9 from 3. He got a lot of 3-point attempts, which is something we talked about in yesterday's video, with how the Lakers have been giving up so many threes. I like that as a good spot for Powell, and he got up 9 3-point attempts. He just couldn't really make any of them. Shot 2 for 9 from 3. So that was a frustrating one to lose. But we move on to Thursday slate, guys, and we've got 3 picks to talk about for Thursday. So let's break down these 3 picks, talk through why I like them. So first player we're going to take a look at is going to be a DeJounte Murray prop, and we're going to look at his PRA line, 36.5. This line is obviously inflated right now because Trae Young is out, and Trae Young's, I think, is going to be out for a few weeks. So expect to see some high lines on DeJounte Murray moving forward, but it's warranted. DeJounte Murray has had a huge role this season with Trae Young off the floor. He's done really well in the games he's played without Trae, both this season and last season. And I'm looking at his PRA prop of 36.5, and I do like the over here for DeJounte. So if you look at what DeJounte has done his last 2 games, because I really want to highlight those 2 games against Orlando and Utah. Those were both without Trae Young. Against Orlando, he had 45 PRA, did go over this line. Last game against Utah, he did go under, only had 32 PRA. But if you look at that game, he shot the ball terribly, 7 for 19 from the field, and then he did shoot 1 for 6 from 3. He had 17 points, 4 rebounds, and 11 assists last game. He's played 7 total games this season without Trae Young. He has gone over this PRA line in 4 out of those 7 games. And if you look at the games where he went under, so he went under against Miami, he had 36. He had 22 points, 3 rebounds, and 11 assists. but he shot 9 for 22 from the field in that game, and he shot 3 for 7 from three. So, almost 40% shooting. Obviously not super efficient shooting game. Still had 36 PRA, even shooting 40% from the field. And then then he had 33 PRA against Philadelphia, 20 points, 4 rebounds, 9 assists. He shot 7 for 17 in that game. And then he had 32 PRA against Utah, as we just talked about, 7 for 19 shooting. So really, the 3 games this season where DeJounte has gone under this PRA line without Trae Young have really just been because of poor shooting. 9 for 22, 7 for 17, 7 for 19. But the role has been massive. The usage has been massive in the games without Trae Young. Last 2 games without Trae, DeJounte has a 30% usage rate. He's averaging 14.5 potential assists over those 2 games. He's averaging 9.5 rebound chances per game. So he's been contributing in all categories, scoring, rebounding, and assisting. I think the matchup here against Brooklyn is fine. I don't think it's a great matchup. Also, I don't think it's a terrible matchup. DeJounte, this Hawks team, they play fast. They're going to push the pace. There's just a lot of ways for DeJounte to go over this PRA line, whether it be he has a big scoring game, he has close to like a triple-double. I mean, I think DeJounte has legit triple-double upside when he's playing without Trae. I want to say, when they played Orlando earlier this season without Trae, I mean, he was the game right here against Orlando. I mean, he was 1 rebound shy of a triple-double. So, like, he literally has triple-double upside with Trae Young off the floor. I like over 36.5 PRA here. The usage and the role is just so good right now for DeJounte. I wouldn't be surprised if you see like maybe 2 weeks from now, his PRA line is sitting like in the 40s. Like, I could definitely see it get to a point where DeJounte has like a 39.5, 40.5 PRA line almost every game. I think this feels like a good spot to kind of buy low while the books are still trying to adjust to how to project him without Trae. He's clearly been an elite player, a super high volume, high usage player with Trae Young off the floor. And this line of 36.5 does feel a little low for the role that he's going to have tonight and moving forward with Trae out. So that's the first prop I like for tonight, guys, is DeJounte Murray more than 36.5 PRA. Next prop I like, we're going to look at a Dillon Brooks prop, 12.5 points. I like the under here for Dillon Brooks, so less than 12.5 points. Dillon Brooks, he has gone under this points prop now in 3 out of his last 5 games. This matchup against Phoenix is definitely not the easiest matchup for Dillon Brooks. He is probably going to be tasked with guarding either Kevin Durant or Devin Booker. Maybe he'll defend both those guys, just kind of like, certain possessions. Maybe he'll defend one or the other. I'm not really sure. But if you look at the last time these teams played against Phoenix on February 23rd, Dillon Brooks only had 2 points in that game. He played 26 minutes. He fouled out in 26 minutes. Now, are we just, can we just say, oh, I'm going to take under on Dillon Brooks' points tonight because he's going to foul out? Like, I'm not saying that, obviously, but I think there is definitely foul trouble risk here for Dillon Brooks, with him having to guard KD and Devin Booker, 2 guys who can draw fouls. Dillon Brooks is a, guy that fouls a lot. I mean, I want to say he's, averaging like, I don't even know how many fouls per 36, but I assume it's really, it's up there. He's definitely had a problem with foul trouble this season. The minutes lately have been, kind of around the low 30s. Typically in competitive games when he's not in foul trouble, he's going to play around like 30, 32 minutes, sometimes more. But even when Dillon Brooks gets like 30 minutes, I mean, it's not a guarantee that he's going to score 13 points. Dillon Brooks has always been a very inefficient shooter. I mean, it's kind of normal for him to have bad shooting games. Last game against OKC, shot 3 for 9, 1 for 6 from 3. The game against Phoenix, when he went under this points prop, he shot 1 for 6 and 0 for 3 from 3. Against the Pelicans here, he shot 2 for 6 from the field, 2 for 5 from 3. So, like, the volume lately for Dillon Brooks has not really been there, even though he is a guy that, is not afraid to shoot the ball. You look over his last 4 games, he's only had 6, 6, 10, and 9 field goal attempts. So the usage has kind of been down lately. The minutes are volatile in this matchup where there's obviously foul trouble risk. Plus, I think there's some blowout risk in this game. I mean, right now, Phoenix, they're at home. They're favored by, I think, 8.5 or 9.5. Wouldn't be surprised to see a blowout here. I don't think we can project a blowout, but wouldn't be surprised if that happens. There's enough, things working against Brooks here to make me like this under. Plus, the sportsbook odds, they're favoring this under as well. DK Sportsbook has this prop minus 130 favored to go under. So I like the under here on 12.5 points for Dillon Brooks. Don't even mind taking under on 16.5 PRA as well. Obviously, if you're betting under on that, you're just hoping that Brooks combines for less than 4 rebounds plus assists, and over his last few games. I mean, he has had 5 4, 5, and 4, rebounds plus assists. Either one of those is fine. I think I prefer points, though, under 12.5 points. That's the play I like most. Again, we just talked about the ways this could go south for Dillon Brooks, whether it be poor shooting, just low usage like he's had lately. I mean, he's not really been shooting the ball much as of late. Foul trouble risk if he's going to be guarding KD and Booker. He got in foul trouble last time he played Phoenix. He fouled out in that game. So yeah, a lot of ways that I like this. I think this under could cash for us. So that's going to be our second play for tonight, guys. Is Dillon Brooks less than 12.5 points. And then third and final play that I like, Kyle Kuzma. His line was at 21.5. It's at 22 now. I guess we'll still give this play out even at 22. I got it at 21.5, so I'm going to technically count it at 21.5. But even if he gets at 22 points, I mean, we still need him to get 22 points. It's just a matter of if he finishes with 22, it's going to be a win for me, and it's going to be a push for you guys. But I still like this play at 22. Kyle Kuzma more than 22.5, more than 22 points. If this line gets bumped up to 22.5, then I probably would just fade it. But I think at 22, it's still good to play. And let's kind of talk through why I like this prop. So first off, Kyle Kuzma been playing really well lately. It looks like it just went up to 22.5 now. So I don't know if I want to play it at 22.5. I guess it's still okay at 22.5. I mean, I got it at 21.5. So that that whole point I think does make a difference. I don't really know. I would say I definitely like the top two plays more than the Kuzma play. I think we'll still count the Kuzma play though, even though the line did get bumped up a point. Hopefully he can get 23 points. If he gets 22, that's going to be that's going to be annoying because then it's going to be a win for me and not a win for you guys. But we'll still say at 22.5, this play is fine to take. Again, I did get the line at 21.5. But let's talk through why I like this prop. So first off, you look at how Kuzma's been doing lately. Been playing really well. Over this points prop in 4 out of his last 5 games. The Wizards as a team have been playing a little bit better lately. They've been keeping games competitive. We saw Kuzma last game against the Warriors play 38 minutes. We saw him play 39 minutes against Cleveland. Now this game against OKC was a blowout. Kuzma only played 27 minutes. But then against Denver, 31 minutes. Against Dallas, 32 minutes. The game before that against Philadelphia, he played 37 minutes. So he's been playing big minutes lately in competitive games. And I like this game against the Lakers to stay competitive. It's the second night of a back-to-back for the Lakers. We already got word that LeBron is uncertain to play tonight. I don't think LeBron's going to play if I had to put money on it. They played a competitive game last night against the Clippers. LeBron had to play 37 minutes last night. If you look at the Lakers schedule, their next game is a national TV game on Saturday against the Nuggets. So I feel like LeBron's probably going to rest up for that national TV game Saturday against Denver. I don't think he plays tonight in a game they should probably win against the Wizards. Even if LeBron does play, obviously that increases the blowout risk here. The Lakers are a much better team than the Wizards. I mean, the Wizards are one of the worst teams in the league. But like I said, the Wizards have been playing better lately. They've been keeping games competitive. And when they keep games competitive, Kuzma is going to play huge minutes. I mean, again, we talked about 38, 39 minutes the last 2 games. Also, I think with Jordan Poole no longer in the starting lineup, I think that really helps Kyle Kuzma. Just because Jordan Poole is a high-usage player that will take shots, that will take usage away from Kuzma. And the more minutes that Kuzma gets to play without Poole on the floor are going to be better for him in terms of a usage perspective, in terms of just getting shots up. And if you look at his volume lately, he has had really good volume. Last 5 games, 19, 25, 14 in the blowout against OKC. He had 14 shot attempts, but then 24 and 21. So he's had at least 19 shot attempts in 4 out of his last 5 games. And the one game he didn't was that blowout against OKC. The volume's been elite lately. I think the matchup against the Lakers is fine. I don't think LeBron plays tonight, so I think that makes it a little bit more likely this game stays competitive. And if we're going to get 36, 37 minutes from Kuzma, which is what he's been playing lately in competitive games, I think we got a pretty good chance of getting 23-plus points from him. I don't even mind taking over 33.5 PRA if you want to go there. It's really up to you. I think I'm just going to stick with 22.5 points. But I like both these props. Kuzma over 22.5 points, over 33.5 PRA. And for what it's worth, Kuzma has played really well against the Lakers this season. These teams have already played twice this season. In those 2 games, Kuzma put up 26 and 22 points. He was really aggressive offensively in those games, 21 and 18 shot attempts. It is a revenge game for Kyle Kuzma if you want to factor that in. I'm not one to really buy into narratives too much, but it is a revenge game if you do want to factor that in. But I like this over of 22.5 points for Kuzma. Again, this line has already moved up a bunch. It was at 21.5. I got it at 21.5. And then when I started recording the video, it bumped up to 22. And then as you guys saw, when I was giving out the play at 22, it got bumped up to 22.5. I'm still okay with it at 22.5. If it goes up any more, I think I would just fade it. But I think 22.5 is probably the top, that's the highest I would play it. I wouldn't play it like any higher than this. But I do like this play. I think this game will stay competitive. I don't think LeBron plays tonight. And if he doesn't, I think the Wizards keep this one close. If Kuzma plays big minutes like he has been lately, I like our chances of getting 23 points. So that's what I'm liking for tonight, guys, for this Thursday NBA slate. 3 picks, DeJounte Murray, more than 36.5 PRA, Dylan Brooks, less than 12.5 points, and Kyle Kuzma, more than 22.5 points. If you guys are going to tail me on these 3 picks, let's hopefully hit all 3 of these plays tonight and make some money. As always, appreciate you guys watching these videos and supporting the Prizepicks content. Hit that like button down below if you guys did enjoy. Hit that subscribe button if you have not yet. Be sure to go check out Prizepicks as well, guys. If you're not signed up for Prizepicks yet, use that code NOAH, linked down below in the description. When you sign up, get your first deposit matched up to $100. But good luck tonight, guys. Thanks for watching as always. We'll see you in the next video.